the 8th year of Hijrah, the month of Ramadan. In the darkness of night, an army of 10,000 moves silently forward. The faint clinking of armor, the breathing of horses, and a profound silence enveloping them. Thousands of torches descend from the hills overlooking Mecca, as if the stars in the sky have come down to earth. Banners flutter in the wind, but no one is shouting, no one is crying out. This was the quietest conquest history had ever witnessed, because this war would not be fought for revenge, but for forgiveness. Those who had been driven from this city 13 years ago were now returning, but not as enemies, as liberators, to cleanse the Kaaba from idols, to free Mecca, and to show history how a conquest should truly be done. This is the story of the Conquest of Mecca. The 6th year of Hijrah. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah had been signed, 10 years of peace. Weapons would fall silent between the Muslims and the mushriks of Mecca. But this treaty had one crucial clause. Any tribe attacking one side would be considered as having attacked the other. 2 years passed. The treaty was working. The Muslims were growing stronger. Tribes were embracing Islam one after another. The Meccans saw this and panic set in. The 8th year of Hijrah, the month of Sha'ban. The Banu Bakr tribe, with the support of Quraysh, launched a night raid on the Khuza'a tribe, allies of the Muslims. Women, children, defenseless people were killed. Some sought refuge at the walls of the Kaaba, but were not spared. The Meccans provided weapons, armor, and horses. Some Qurayshi leaders even participated in the battle themselves. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah had been violated, blood had been spilled, and the Quraysh didn't yet know they would pay the price. A group from the Khuza'a tribe rushed to Medina. They appeared before the Prophet. They told what had happened. Everyone in the mosque was enraged, but the Prophet, peace be upon him, remained calm. He looked at the Khuza'a delegation and said, "You shall be helped, O Amr ibn Salim." This was a declaration of war, but the Meccans were not yet aware. The Qurayshi leaders, panicking, sent Abu Sufyan to Medina to renew the treaty, to apologize, to buy time. When Abu Sufyan arrived in Medina, the city was empty. No one was there. Silence filled the streets. He went to his daughter Habiba's house, but even his daughter received him coldly. He went to the Prophet's mosque, empty. He spoke with Abu Bakr, with Umar, with Ali. No one gave him hope. When he came to Medina, he understood one thing. He was too late. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had already given the order to march on Mecca, but he had told no one. Secrecy was the most critical element of this campaign. The 10th of Ramadan, 8th year of Hijrah, an army of 10,000 had gathered outside Medina. The companions, volunteers, the Ansar, the Muhajirun, and newly converted tribes, all were there. The Prophet, peace be upon him, divided his army into 4 columns. First column, under the command of Khalid ibn al-Walid, would enter from the south of Mecca. Second column, under Zubair ibn al-Awwam's command, would advance from the heights. Third column, Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah, would head directly toward the Kaaba. Fourth column, the main force with the Prophet, peace be upon him, would enter from the center. The orders were clear. Attack no one, enter no homes. Do not harm women, children, or the elderly. Only respond if someone resists. The army advanced. In the darkness of night, a fire was lit on every hilltop. Torches burned at every point overlooking the valley of Mecca. It seemed like an endless army. The psychological pressure was perfect. Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet's uncle, was moving toward Mecca. On the way, he encountered someone, Abu Sufyan. The leader of Mecca had ventured out in the darkness, trying to understand the situation. Abbas saw him and whispered, "Abu Sufyan, if you don't accept Islam, now tomorrow Mecca will become a bloodbath." Abu Sufyan was trembling. He looked around. Thousands of fires, thousands of soldiers. "What is this?" he said. "This is Muhammad's army, and you now stand before him." That night, Abu Sufyan accompanied Abbas to the Prophet's presence. He uttered the testimony of faith, but the Muslims didn't trust him. Umar reached for his sword, but the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Do not touch him. Tomorrow morning take him. Let him see the army pass. Let him return to Mecca and tell his people, Muhammad is coming. Stay in your homes. Nothing will happen to you." Morning came. Abu Sufyan was taken to the edge of the valley. The army began to pass. 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, thousands of people. Armor, cavalry, banners. Abu Sufyan's face turned pale. He whispered, "No one can stand against this." And he ran to Mecca. Panic erupted in the streets of Mecca. Abu Sufyan was shouting, "Muhammad is coming, an army of 10,000. Stay in your homes. Seek refuge in the Kaaba. Those who enter Abu Sufyan's house will not be harmed." The people didn't know what to do. Some tried to flee. Some grabbed their weapons. Some locked themselves in their homes. A group of Quraysh warriors, under the command of Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl and Safwan ibn Umayyah, decided to resist Khalid ibn al-Walid's column. This was in the south of Mecca, a narrow pass. Khalid was advancing with his forces. Suddenly, arrows rained down. 2 Muslims fell as martyrs. Khalid immediately responded. He sent his cavalry to attack. A brief but fierce clash occurred. The Qurayshi warriors scattered. 12, 13 were killed. The rest fled. This was the only battle of the conquest of Mecca. The other 3 columns faced no resistance. Zubair ibn al-Awwam descended from the high hills. He planted the Islamic banner. The Meccans saw this and understood. It was over. Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah advanced from the direction of the Kaaba. The streets were empty, only frightened eyes peering from doorways. The Prophet, peace be upon him, entered Mecca from the center. On his camel, his head was bowed. He was so humble that his forehead seemed to touch the camel's saddle. There was no intoxication of victory, no arrogance, only reverence. He moved toward the Kaaba. The polytheists had fled. The idols were still there. 360 idols, inside and around the Kaaba, each belonging to a tribe, a tradition, an era. The Prophet, peace be upon him, dismounted from his camel. He took a stick in his hand. He stood before the idols, and he recited a verse. "Truth has come, and falsehood has vanished. Indeed, falsehood is bound to vanish." Al-Isra 81. And he touched the idols. One by one, they fell. Stone fragments dropped to the ground. Hollow statues toppled. Idols worshipped for centuries fell with the touch of a stick. The Kaaba was cleansed. Mecca was liberated. But the real turning point happened not in battle, but after it. After the idols were destroyed, the Prophet, peace be upon him, came to the side of the Kaaba. The Meccan mushriks gathered in fear. Those who had tortured Muslims years ago, who had driven them from Mecca, who had tried to kill them, all were there. The Prophet, peace be upon him, looked at them. There was silence. Everyone wondered what would happen. "O people of Quraysh, what do you think I will do to you?" No one spoke. Then Suhail ibn Amr stepped forward. "You are a noble brother, son of a noble brother." The Prophet, peace be upon him, smiled and said, "There is no blame upon you today. Go, all of you are free." Shock, complete shock. 13 years of oppression, torture, boycott, assassination attempts, wars, and in the end, pardon. Everyone was forgiven. Even Umar was astonished. So many enemies, so many blood feuds, and all were pardoned. This was the greatest act of forgiveness history had witnessed. Some immediately accepted Islam. Some returned to their homes. Some wept. Hind bint Utbah, the woman who had chewed Hamza's liver at the Battle of Uhud, watched from behind her veil. She was afraid, but then she stepped forward and became Muslim. Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl, one of the greatest enemies of the Muslims, fled. He set out to sea, but his ship was caught in a storm. The captain shouted, "Pray only to Allah, your idols are useless here." Ikrimah understood. He returned from the ship, appeared before the Prophet, and became Muslim. Later, he became one of Islam's bravest commanders. Sufyan ibn Umayyah tried to escape, but his friend Umayr ibn Wahb found him and brought him back. "O Safwan, come and see how merciful this man is." Safwan came hesitantly, but eventually he too accepted Islam. Abu Sufyan, the former leader of Mecca, was now a Muslim. In subsequent battles, he would fight so bravely that he would lose his eye. This was the real turning point of the conquest of Mecca. Victory was won not with the sword, but with mercy. Not hatred, but forgiveness was written into history. Mecca was conquered, but the work wasn't finished. Surrounding tribes still posed a threat, especially the Hawazin and Thaqif tribes, who had gathered a large army. They wanted to take Mecca back, but that was another war, the Battle of Hunain. In the days following the conquest, the call to prayer was heard in Mecca. For the first time, the name of Allah rose from the roof of the Kaaba. Bilal al-Habashi gave the call. His former masters had no choice but to listen. The streets were quiet, but peaceful. Oppression had ended, the idols were gone, and the Kaaba had once again become a place where worship was offered only to Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, stayed in Mecca for several weeks. He taught Islam, he encouraged the people, he strengthened the faith of the new Muslims, and then he returned to Medina. But Mecca had changed forever. The conquest of Mecca was not just the taking of a city. It was the turning point of Islamic history. It changed the balance of power in the Arabian Peninsula. Tribes embraced Islam, one after another. Within 2 years, all of Arabia was Muslim. In his speech after the conquest, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Mecca has been made sacred by Allah. From this day forward, blood shall not be shed here. There shall be no war. Not even a tree shall be cut." And indeed, Mecca became the city of peace. So what can we learn from this conquest? First, victory is not about taking revenge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, did not destroy his enemies. He pardoned them, and through this he entered their hearts. The heart you cannot take with the sword, you can take with mercy. Second, power is crowned with humility. He entered Mecca with an army of 10,000, but his head was bowed, humble. There was no arrogance, no intoxication of victory. Third, secrecy is the foundation of strategy. He told no one about the march to Mecca. This way, the enemy couldn't prepare. Surprise was the greatest weapon. Fourth, forgiveness is the most powerful weapon. Despite years of oppression, he forgave everyone. And through this, former enemies became the most loyal friends. Fifth, the goal is not to shed blood, but to establish truth. There was no need to shed a drop of blood to capture Mecca, because the aim was not revenge. The aim was to separate right from wrong, to destroy idolatry, to liberate people. The conquest of Mecca is not just an event in history. It's a set of principles, a roadmap. Victory is not won only on the battlefield. True victory is won in hearts. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, with the conquest of Mecca, conquered both the city and the hearts. Even today, millions of people from all corners of the world turn toward the Kaaba. They pray, they perform tawaf, they supplicate, because on that day, in that month of Ramadan, the idols were destroyed and the Kaaba was liberated. And this freedom will last until the day of judgment, the conquest of Mecca, the triumph of mercy, the power of forgiveness, and a prophet's gift to humanity. If this story touched your heart, stay with us by subscribing. See you in the next video. May Allah be with you.